This particular garden means the absolute world to me. It has so much heritage, history, family, sentimentality, and I thought, whilst I'm here, I'm going to take you along and show you a couple of things that make this garden so special. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video is a special one because I'm taking you here around my grandmother's garden here in the United Kingdom, in the countryside of northeastern, I should say, London. And what's really exciting about this garden is that she's been here for so many years, 60 plus years, and has been cultivating the space in a completely organic way for many, many years. And I want to highlight a couple of the things that she does here, which really improves the soil year after year. Now, not only is this special to me because I've spent much of my childhood here, I'm just ducking under one of the apple trees here, but my father as well grew up here from a very, very young age with his two brothers, brought up here, and this place has changed quite a fair bit over the years. You can see one of the vegetable gardens behind me as I wander down past a few things. It's now October here in the UK, so it is autumn time. The leaves are falling off the trees. The colours are just absolutely wonderful, and it is time where everything is starting to head towards its dormancy for winter. Now, I want to show you a couple of things that are really special about this garden, but the majority of what's happening in the garden usually doesn't kick off in this season. It's usually finished for this season. But let's jump in and I want to show you a few things around the property that are quite special to me. First things first, I want to talk about this tree here. This particular tree is a Canadian maple, and it just so happens that this is my tree. Now, I planted this tree with my grandparents at, I think, the age of maybe around 3 years old, when the tree itself was around 3 years old. So this tree is the exact same age as me, and it's really special to be able to come here and hang out with the tree and say, hey, look, this is a representation of me growing out in nature and me actually taking root in a land and actually having connection to that land, a grounding force in the land. So it's such a special tree. See if I can zoom up, you can have a little look. What's really special is that not only do I have a tree here, but my brother has a tree and my cousins have a tree. There's probably maybe, there'd be 6, 7 trees here now for all of the grandchildren, and they all have a special place. This is another one here. It's a nice birch tree, I think, this one. And the one I'm just going under now is my brother's tree that is dwarfing absolutely everyone's. Another maple. This one's a red maple. Really, really awesome. But these are all along the boundary line at the top, okay? And what's really interesting about this property is that it backs on to a whole bunch of fields. Now, these fields are conventionally farmed, and something's just gone in it recently. I don't actually know. I think they grew wheat last year just from memory, and they possibly might be doing a second round of wheat in there again. But unfortunately, this is how close it is to our organic property over here, down the river terrace as well, because this is an old river terrace property. So you can see the layers of the river terrace that go down. But all of this conventional farming, again, glyphosate use here, does impact it here. So we've always had troubles growing things along the fence, but we have this nice buffer of plants that seem to work. So even look at this. This was a nice blackberry vine that's gone all along here that's now died. But it's just, it's such a shame that we have to be battling against these things. But it just shows that, yes, even though some of the land over here agriculturally can be extracted from, over here, we can be adding organic matter to the soil and improving things a long time, and it just absolutely loves it. The next thing I want to show you is this compost pile. We've actually recently just had a whole bunch of lawn clippings and some of these amazing different colored leaves that have fallen from all the trees, a lot of the maple trees around. We've had those added to the pile, and you can see this enormous pile here. over the years, year after year after year, this compost pile has been generating incredible compost, which has really added to the soil health around this property. Normally you have to be quite careful burrowing into some of these things. See, there's some spent apples that end up in the compost as well, but if we look down here, you can see, let's grab a big handful. Look at that, I can even see a worm straight away. We've pulled up a worm. Look at the quality of this delicious compost. This is organic matter 101. This is the type of thing that we're looking for and is what is improving this soil year after year after year. These apple trees sit just above the compost pile and are constantly dropping apples. I have to be really careful coming down this hill because look at all the apples that are lining the ground here. Unfortunately, some of them are, here for the insects and things like this, but a lot of it does tend to go to waste. We try and use as much as possible in all the different cooking, eating apples, and then giving away to as many in the community, in the villages, as much as physically possible. The trees themselves are actually pretty old, some of them. They've been going for years and years and years. Well, actually some before even the property was taken over by my family. This is a pear tree, you can see behind me. Oh, that one just literally came off of my hands, so time to eat, I suppose. Wow. Nothing beats fresh fruit straight from the tree. Organic fruit straight from the tree. Oh, you can't beat it. Oh, yum. That's so good. Excuse me while I just finish this. So under this pear tree over here, we have this contraption of just some netting. It's very, very simple, but this is leaf mold. This is a really good technique where you use leaves and you just pile them up in dense layers, pack them down, pile it up, and look. I can't really get, there we go. Can we get a good shot of that? There's some mycelium growing under there. This leaf mold is the most amazing fertilizer, kickstarter for so many of your organic products. And just by piling up the leaves, you can just use it in a little piece of metal like this. You just pile the leaves, pack on, and then harvest from one of the corners. And we can lay that down as a compost. You can use it for inoculants, teas, all sorts. A really, really effective one if you have some leaves falling around your property in numbers. Some nettles here, some amazing nettles. We always love having nettles in the UK. They just seem to grow everywhere. Such a really versatile plant. You can see there's a little ladybird under there on the nettle. How gorgeous. But with that wonderful compost, what we're doing is we're then adding it to our garden beds. I'm going to take you in here to one of these exclusion zones from the birds and things that actually I built in my teenage years with my father. We're going to come inside. I've got a couple of vegetable boxes in front of me that we're still working on, but let me show you the strawberry patch. This strawberry patch here, I actually came and dug this up the other day, but if we have a look at the quality of this soil, even though it's quite open here in the UK, look at this. Look how amazing that holds together, but also crumbles apart. The soil is quite different here in the UK to what we expect back home, but the soil itself still has this nice crumbly structure. Look at it, it's crumbly, and then we squeeze and it becomes more of one aggregate, and then we push it apart and it becomes completely easy to break apart. And this structure is exactly what we're after, this nice beautiful crumb that can turn into solid soil and then allow our roots to penetrate and the water to get in there, and of course the all-important gas exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So these strawberries have been here for years and years, year after year, going through and harvesting a nice strawberry crop and turning it into some wonderful jam. Coming under some more apple trees here. Jams are actually something that my grandmother makes quite a lot of. Makes some delicious, delicious jam. And even from plum as well. Victoria plum is really popular here in this country, and it's such a delicious preserve or jam. So if you love, or if you've never made jam, I highly suggest you get into it because it's something really, really special. This other tree right here actually is another great one. This one is a crab apple. If you've not come across this one before, these are tiny, tiny little crab. Let me go through here. These ones are insanely small. Look how tiny they are. These are crab apples, and they, oh, drop one. These make the most delicious crab apple jelly as well. Such a simple one with these tiny little crab apples. You just boil them all up, and then they go down right down into this sticky liquid. You drain out all of the liquid, and then what you're left with, you can then turn into a jam and set it, and it's just exquisite. So really popular here in the UK, the old crab apple. But again, look, absolute surplus all over the floor. And this is not the only crab apple. Just over here, if we zoom up, we've got another crab apple there, we've got an eating apple there, another apple here, and then this one is another big apple. You can see, look at this, big chunking apples here. These ones are awesome, delicious apples. But still, in October, we're getting the apples coming on the trees. Lastly, some of the flower borders as well. These have been meticulously worked on for years and years by my grandmother, and look at the quality of some of these flowers. They're just absolutely beautiful, and you'll have seen a couple of overlays over the old video, but it's so important to be constantly working on these and improving the soil. And again, you can see, if I look at this soil is just incredible. The most amazing amount of organic matter in here. Hopefully I'm not digging up any bulbs. But this is just absolutely extraordinary soil, and it shows what you can do with that compost. If you keep adding organic matter year after year and improving the soil, it just makes it so easy for absolutely everything to thrive here. And the last tree that I want to show you is quite a funny story. It was actually one Christmas, apparently 50 odd years ago, when they had their Christmas tree in the living room, and they decided, you know what, I think we should plant this tree. And 50 years later, this is what it looks like. It is absolutely dwarfing the entire landscape. I can barely reach the top. Some very grey overcast clouds here in October, but it is such a huge tree that just absolutely dwarfs the landscape. And it's so cool. Me and my brother and all of our cousins, we used to come right in here. Look, you can come right in underneath, and you can see how immense it is, and so much fun just to kind of come in here and move things around and chase around in the dark there, and play hide and seek and all those sorts of things, and burn the pine cones. But what an absolute tree, and it's just a complete landmark in this garden. Look, I know this isn't a massive tour, but hopefully I'm going to be here in the near future where I can actually show you around and get my grandmother to tell you a little bit of the story, a little bit of the background of some of the area around here, some of the things that she's been growing, some of the trials and tribulations of managing land like this, what used to be here, and how this has become such fertile ground for her to grow on. But I really wanted to show you what it's like at the moment. I wanted to give you a snapshot of why it's so special to me. So look, I'd absolutely love to hear from you. What do you have in the same way? Is there anything that connects really well for you? Is there a special piece of land? Is there a special garden? Is there something that, you know, really resonates home with something like this for you? Whenever I come here, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm helping steward this land and connecting back to it, and all the people that have worked on it before me, you know. So it's really special to me. So I wanted to show you that, and I really hope that you enjoyed watching. So if you did, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, because I'd love to see more of you. But also drop a thoughtful comment. Tell me a little bit about your story. And I think story and personal connection is just such an important part of all of this. So drop me your story. I'd love to hear it. But anyway, look, I think that's enough for me today. So thank you so much. I'm really appreciative of you, and I can't wait to get back to normal programming back in Australia. So we'll see you really soon. Bye for now.